Hello, my fabulous people. Woo, you're back. Okay, I want to go over sugar. Do you ever have a sweet tooth? I know I do. And I have done everything I can to curb that sweet tooth. All right, so I'm going to let you know why sugar's not allowed, what the benefits of living a sugar-free life are, and the reasonings behind it. Okay? You catch me looking down is because I have notes. Okay. All right, so benefits of not eating sugar. Actually, you'll have better dental health. Your teeth won't have cavities. Your teeth will be in perfect, healthy shape. Your gums will be healthy. You'll also have less weight gain with sugar. Sugar is a big deal when it comes to weight gain. You'll have a healthier heart, and you'll have no more energy crashing. Let's go ahead and start with actually with better dental health, okay? Just to let you know. The ADA points out that the sweet and soft drinks cause tooth decay. As many as 11 teaspoons of sugar are in a can of Coke or a bottle of Coke or Mountain Dew or any of the soda pops that you like. There is tons and tons of sugar in it. Now, I don't drink soft drinks. I used to. I used to drink Coca-Cola all the time. And I don't drink it no more. If you saw my last video, I'm doing a water challenge. 3 to 4 of these cups a day. That's my challenge. And I did challenge several people. Whoever wants to do this with me. All right. Now, the other thing is less weight gain if you don't eat sugar, okay? A lot of us are trying to lose weight, and I get it. We have sweet tooths. From time to time, we fail. We have this or we have that. We may have a little bite of this or maybe a little tiny piece of that. You get back up and you say, no more. Can't do this to myself no more. Eating products that contain sugar can lead to weight gain. Sugar has calories in it. Yes, it does. It has calories, okay? And no nutritional value. There's absolutely no nutritional value in sugar. Sugar is considered an empty calorie. Point blank, empty calorie. No nutritional value, okay? Now, I don't know if you knew this or not. Carbs, when you're sedentary, carbs will turn to sugar. And there again, no nutritional value. Just an empty calorie that packs on to your weight. So just to let you know, with sugar, for a healthier heart, stay away from that processed garbage. Sugar is not good for you. Eating too much sugar will raise triglycerides in your body. Now, this is a type of fat that can increase your blood, or actually will increase your blood. So the fat in your blood actually, so that it can increase the risk of a heart attack. Get that garbage out of your house. You don't need that sugar. Get that out of your house. Now, energy crashing. You ever have that, feel kind of tired, you want to kind of wake up just a little bit, so you have that piece of candy, that hard candy, or even a candy bar. You grab that Snickers bar or that Reese's peanut butter cup or that anything chocolate, candy. It's got mounds of sugar in it, mounds even. Okay, you grab that and you start feeling okay, you know, you start feeling a little more alert and like you're all right. And then an hour later, if you even make it to that hour later, boom, you want to go take a nap. That's a sugar crash. You are tired. You feel more tired than you were and less alert than you were before you ate that sugar. It's not good for you. Sugar is your enemy. Sugar, this is what they say here about sugar. Eating sugar, food, and drinking sugar, such as, you know, your sodas, your concentrated juices, stuff like that. We'll get to juices in just a minute. That will actually raise your blood sugar or your glucose to raise and then plummet. Boom, you've got that sugar crash. Okay? And when it plummets hard. It's not no slow cycle. You can be feeling up 1 minute and then boom, boom. You want to go to bed. You want to take a nap. Go to sleep. Leave me alone. You know, that sort of thing. So the glucose in your blood, I've got to just let you know. The glucose in your blood, your brain looks at glucose as a fuel, okay? All right, and it uses the glucose as a fuel. When you crash, this can cause you to reach for more fuel, more candy, more sugary treats, more cakes, more cookies, more sodas, and so on. Fueling your body with negative calorie garbage is not good. You want to fuel your body with proteins, with vegetables, you know, with fresh fruit. I know fresh fruit has sugar in it, but it's a natural sugar. It's not a processed sugar. So, you know, if you have a choice between picking up that Snickers bar or grabbing an apple or an orange, do that. Get that fruit and get that Snickers bar out of your way because it's not good. It's not helping you any. All right, so as we go on, I'm going to let you know the foods you should never consume. And I'll tell you why. The first thing is concentrated. Concentrated. I've got to concentrate on concentrated orange juice. All right, first of all, there is more sugar in concentrated juices, like orange juice, apple juice, grape juice, and so on, more so than there is in that can of soda you pick up. That's not good. When they process the concentrated juice and they take out the fiber, all that leaves is sugar water, a colored sugar water. So you're not getting any of that fiber. The minerals, the enzymes are out because when they process it, they kill the enzymes and minerals in that concentrated juice. So if you're going to have juice, the best way to have juice is squeeze it yourself. So if you have, you know, oranges or lemons or anything like that, you can make your own juice, a healthy version of it. Keep the fiber in. The fiber will help move food through your body, help you digest, so you're not running into problems. All right, so all processed food, I've got to let you know, most of the process, actually all the processed food that I've seen has sugar in it. Even if you get something and you look at the label and it says sugar 0, you want to look in the ingredients underneath that label, because if you see the words sucralose, maltodextrin, anything like that, those are all sugar. Those companies lie to you. They've lied to you for years. They tell you, oh, this has no sugar, no added sugar. Of course it does. Anything that's processed has added sugar, and that's not good. Not at all. All right, so the other thing is margarine. You don't want to use margarine either. If you're going to use any type of oil substance to cook with, then you should actually use real butter. Actually, what I like is the Kerrygold or unsalted butter. I use that a lot. I use avocado oil. I use olive oil. I use coconut oil. I use MTC oil. You know, these all, you know, your coconut and your MTC oils don't have the triglycerides, the bad fat in it. So those will actually move right through your liver quickly. It won't stay, linger, and do any damage. You know, your avocado oil, you can actually use that to cook up to 500 degrees with. I don't use that in every one of my dishes. I only use that when I am cooking at a high temperature for certain things. You know, so you can actually use stuff like that. And one of these days I will even do a video on how to make your own butter. It's easy. It is easy. And it's fun. And the results, the outcome, when you know that you made something and you know what you're putting in your body, it's going to be very good. You know, I like being able to, you know, make my own condiments and be able to share them. So I will be doing that as well. All right, let's get back to this, okay? Now, margarine, I've got to tell you, okay? Back in, I'd say about the mid-20s, about the mid-20s, margarine was created as an alternative form of butter, okay? Butter in certain places were in the States were being rationed, okay? It was very sparse in some places, in some colonies. So they actually created margarine, which is made up of hydrogen and butter. Okay, so they pump hydrogen into the butter and they create the margarine. Okay, but in the processing of that, they take out the enzymes, they take out the minerals. You know, when the cows graze, and they graze on grass and on alfalfa and herbs that are growing, they're actually getting the enzymes from that plant life. When the butter is when the margarine is processed, they take all that away. You know, so you're left with basically nothing. You know, nothing good anyway. Now, this also produces trans fats, the margarine does. All right, trans fats are more harmful to you than saturated fats. I didn't know if you knew that or not. All right, now, for energy, your body can burn off saturated fat, but the trans fats will actually clog your arteries. So when you go to the store and you pick up that little block of margarine, think about your arteries. Think about how you're going to be clogging your arteries if you use that and if you don't use butter. Think about that. All right, something else I don't use is canola oil. The reason I don't use canola oil or vegetable oils, okay, for that matter, vegetable or even canola. Canola oil is actually made up of rapeseed, which is not good for you, okay? It is something you can find basically in, if you mix certain chemicals or products underneath your sink, okay? It was actually proven to be 1%, 1 degree away from being motor oil. Now, you think I want to put that in my body? Oh, heck no. So that's why I'm saying I will either use real butter, unsalted, of course. I will use avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil, and MTC oil. Okay? Those right there, that's good enough for me. All right, now trans fat always also is increased, or I'm sorry, when trans fat's increased, your LDL or your bad cholesterol, that's basically what the trans fat is when it's increased, while wiping out your HDL or your good cholesterol. So it will increase the bad cholesterol and it will lower the good cholesterol in your body. Fat that has been artificially removed from diet foods. You know, you go through the freezer aisle and you see like Jenny Craig, you know, or any of those, you know, Michelinas or any of those lean cuisines or anything. Okay, people will think, oh, I will get this because it's diet, you know, and that's what I'm trying to do. Or they see something that says low fat. Stay away from that garbage. Just because it says low fat on it, it's not good for you. When it says low fat, the processing center that actually processes it, the factory will actually add sugar to that in replace of the fat. Because number one, you take away the fat, you take away the flavor. Okay? They will add sugar to it to make it desirable to you, to make it palatable. So if you're going to go to the store, and let's just use this as an example. If you pick up a block, well, let's say cream cheese, okay? You pick up a block of cream cheese. This hand, you've got Philadelphia cream cheese, full fat. This one you have Philadelphia cream cheese, 1/3 fat. When they take out the fat, leaving 1/3 fat, they're putting in sugar to make it flavorful, to taste like the full fat. So there you have it. Always go for the full fat, okay? Fat does not make you fat. It helps you lose weight. It helps lubricate your body. You know, it helps bring out the natural oils in your skin, and you know, it's not any of this fake garbage that, you know, is put into it when processing food. Okay, fat-free foods are loaded with sugar and are sold to you with the belief that you can actually lose weight. That's a bunch of crock. Okay, butter in place of margarine, full-fat yogurt in place of fat-free yogurt. Just because it says fat-free doesn't mean that it's good for you. You've got to really read the labels. You've got to look at what you're buying. Whole wheat bread. Okay, first of all, I don't even eat bread. Okay, so I'm just going over this here because I know a lot of you do eat bread. And it's okay. It's okay. If that's what you want to do, then go for it. I just don't like the taste of bread. I don't like what it does. Okay. It does not matter when you eat whole wheat bread opposed to white bread. Yes, white bread, the grain is processed and it is bleached. Okay. Whole wheat bread, the grain has just as much sugar in it as the bleached white bread. Same thing. Doesn't matter. The reason I don't eat bread is because once you eat bread and you chew it up and it goes down through your esophagus and it hits your stomach and it hits the acid in your stomach, it hits all the fluids in the pit of your stomach, it turns to glue. It turns into a paste and it hardens like concrete. I don't eat bread for that reason. If I make a sandwich, I will wrap it in lettuce leaves. And there you have it. Or I'll wrap it in, sprouts or something, So that's what I normally do. All right, you can count calories with each slice of bread, but what you may not know is that when your bread hits your stomach, just like I said, it does turn into a paste. The more processed your food is, when it breaks down and it gives you the higher glycemic index, it will give you a much higher glycemic index. When you eat the unprocessed whole foods, it takes more time for your body to break this down, giving you a lower glycemic index. The more processed the food is, the more harmful it is for your body. You should actually be eating whole foods in order to make your body function properly. Processed foods, it's just unnatural. Your body was not built to be able to endure the chemicals and the processing that goes into creating these fake foods. Whole food is the only thing you should be eating, not faked processed food. Your body produces cholesterol. Or I'm sorry, excuse me, cholesterol. Of course it does. Your body produces cortisol. And the cortisol turns into energy. When you are stressed, you produce cortisol and reach for the comfort food. Carbs, remember carbs, turn into sugars. Hi. My sister-in-law. Okay. Carbs do turn into sugars. Adiponectin, that's another thing that I wanted to go ahead and let you know. Adiponectin is actually a fat-burning hormone that your body naturally produces. The more body fat you have, the less adiponectin that your body will produce. Just for the simple fact is that your body, when it feels like it's going into like a starvation mode, your body will say, hey, hold up, we don't want to burn this fat because nobody's feeding us at this time. Okay, we need to hang on to all the calories we can. Well, the more fat, the more calories you take in and the more fat that you get. Remember, you don't do this overnight. This takes you years. The less of that hormone that you will actually have. Okay. Now, as your insulin increases or decreases, this can put your body into a fat storing mode. As you gain weight, your body tends to produce less adiponectin, which is your natural fat burning source. Now, green tea actually has been proven to increase the levels of adiponectin in your body. Adiponectin is also a natural anti-inflammatory. So say if you bruise easily and you have enough adiponectin in your system, that will help your skin from not bruising or inflaming so much. Okay. Now, processed soy, just to let you know, going into our next one, processed soy and soy protein, soy milk, all those products are not good for you. The reason that they're not good for you is because they are commercially harvested, grown and harvested. Okay. When they process the seed or the bean, I believe it's a bean, when they process that, then they completely strip it of all of its minerals and vitamins and basically leave you with the sugar alcohol from it. Okay. Um, it's just a very, if you grew this on your own and you did not process it, you just grew it and you ate it right off of the vine, then you'd be okay. Then it would actually be nutritional for you. But because our commercial farmers grow it and then it gets processed, it gets sent off from the farm to the processing center. They process it. They take everything good out of it, and then they send it to the stores in different forms. You have your tofu, you have your soy milk, you've got, everything. Again, it's another processed piece of garbage. Stay away from it. All right. Vitamins and minerals are stripped from the bean. Okay. You're not getting what you should actually be getting in order to sustain your system. You get what I'm saying? If you're eating processed food, that's all you're eating, you're not getting enough of the different sources to be healthy and to stay healthy, to kick your immune system into gear, to kick your metabolism in, to grow your cells. Your cells, your DNA cells change every 7 to 9 years. And if you're not feeding them right, then you are actually mutating them. And that's why they call it the SAD diet, because the SAD diet is all processed. It's a mutation. Now, let me go on to the next. All right, the kind of meats you want to stay away from also. You want to stay away from processed meats. Go get yourself a steak, throw it on the Barbie, enjoy it, right? Okay, wrong. You don't want to cook meat at a very high temperature. Bacon, ham, beef, anything like that at a very high temperature, because that will let the nitrates, actually it will increase the nitrates in that meat, which are not good for you. Nitrates are not good for you. All right, processed meat you really want to not have a lot of. I mean, I'm not saying don't have it, because, I like this stuff too, but I have to modify it. I have to have it within moderation. Not modify it, but I've got to have it within moderation. I can't have it every day of the week. All right, sausage, hot dogs, ham, bacon, all that stuff has nitrates in it. They pump nitrates in it, in order to preserve it, to allow the refrigerator and the freezer life of that meat to be good. Those nitrates are put into it to preserve it. They're not natural. They are chemical bound nitrates. It's processed. That's just a part of the processing. All right. All increase the risk of cancer, of colon cancer, okay, by 18%. If eaten on a daily basis, so that's, one reason I don't eat it, a lot of it. I did have a colonoscopy. Not fun. Not fun at all. I'm telling you. But it came out okay. I was fine. And I don't want to do that again. But anyway, I did that so I could see if there was any colon cancer. I have a history in my family. My grandfather had it. So it's good to check things like that. All right, all processed meat has nitrates. Nitrates are used to cure meats, also preserving and giving color, also adding flavor. All part of the process of processing the meat is the nitrates. Nitrates used to process meats are chemically manufactured. And the manufacturing process causes carcinogens called nitrosamines to develop. Look it up. You don't believe me? Look it up. All right, this cancer-causing chemical is also found when cooking on high heat. That's what I'm saying. Don't cook your meat on high heat. Don't cook your meat on high heat. Okay? Because that will actually release the chemical, the nitrates, into increasingly amounts in your food that you're eating and putting into your body. All right. Now, remember to read your labels carefully when you go to the grocery store. Avoid multi-high levels of salt or sodium. Okay, sodium. Salt's good for you. Some people say, oh, no, it's not. But I'm telling you, salt is good for you. In moderation. Okay? Moderation, not gallons. All right? And using the sodium, know what is in your food. All right? So if you read the ingredients underneath the label and come across the word you don't know or you don't understand, you haven't heard before, or you see red dye number 7 or whatever it is, don't buy it. Because if you don't know what's in your food that you're eating, you shouldn't be eating it. You should be eating whole food. And when I say whole food, I mean getting your meat, okay? Chicken, fish, beef, okay? Lamb, all right? Your vegetables. Stay to the outside of the store. So you're like this. You're not going through any of these aisles, okay? These aisles, they're all processed. Unless you're going for coffee. Get your coffee. But other than that, stick to the meat, stick to the dairy, stick to your vegetables, and stay away from the boxed and the canned stuff and the bagged stuff, I don't know how much more I can express on here because it's just the processed food will kill you. I just have to put it that way. It will kill you eventually. I know you're thinking, well, I'm living for today. I want to eat this. That's fine. Do it. Okay? Just, be mindful of what you're doing and what you're putting in your mouth. All right. Now, I like, when I go get my meat, I like going actually to the butcher. I have to drive a little ways to get there. But I do actually, we have a butcher here that's out in the East Valley. And I go out there, and that's where I get my meat. I get my uncured versions of meat, like uncured bacon. You know, I get my roast out there, my hamburger out there, my chicken out there, which is good and it's tasty, and I can taste the flavor in it because it's not processed garbage. All right. So basically, that's the end of my notes. Basically, be mindful of what you eat. Stay away from the sugars. Oh, speaking of that, I want to tell you something. I do have a sweet tooth. Okay? I'm not going to lie to you. I've got a sweet tooth. I don't do sugars. I will do stevia, which is sweet leaf. It is all natural, and it is actually from a plant. And I also do Truvia. Truvia is all natural too. Truvia is part stevia and part erythritol. Erythritol is actually the alcohol from sugar. It's a sugar alcohol. Alcohol from sugar. And that's okay. That's okay. But as far as sugar itself, I don't do it because you can't control what it does to your body. It's just, I like being able to know what I'm putting into my body. That way, I've got nobody to blame if I don't feel good. I've got nobody to blame if I'm taken to the emergency room for a heart attack. I have nobody to blame if I'm gaining weight. Knowing what you're putting in your body, as long as you're eating clean and you're eating whole foods, and you can have your little packets like this, and I use this for my tea or my coffee. It's okay. Just don't overdo life. Live it. Just don't overdo it. Everybody, I am going to go ahead and say have a fabulous, fabulous Sunday. And I wish you well. I will see you soon. Please go ahead and like and subscribe and enjoy your weekend. Stay fab.